Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you for joining me for this video. And in this video, we're going to be discussing former Ohio State quarterback Terrelle Pryor, who wants those wins that were taken away from Ohio State back in 2010, his last year with the Buckeyes, and it cost, Jim Tressel his job, and so forth, and many other players were suspended as well. He wants those wins from the 2010 season back under the new NIL. And so former Ohio State quarterback, as the article goes on to state, from Terrelle Pryor, he asked the NCAA to reinstate his team's vacated wins from the 2010 season, one marred by suspensions and NCAA penalties that followed an investigation into improper benefits and profiting from personal merchandise, which of course at the time and up until very recently was against the NCAA protocol. And so definitely guys like him, you've seen earlier Reggie Bush has reached out in terms of, having his Heisman Trophy returned. So now players who've been punished for it, they're like, this new NIL thing, they feel is the right move. And so they want to be, whether it's, return the Heisman and Reggie Bush case or return these victories, they want what was taken from them restored. And so Pryor and four of his teammates, DeVar Posey, Solomon Thomas, Mike Adams, and Dan Herron, they were suspended by the NCAA the first 5 games of the 2011 campaign after selling personal championship rings and jerseys. The NCAA also found the players received improper benefits, later made public as free tattoos previously in their careers. Under current name, image, and likeness revisions, Pryor and his teammates would have been able to profit off their personal brands at Ohio State without any violation. And so obviously, given the change in the ruling now, they're saying, you can no longer, or they do not want to be penalized for that anymore. Since the rules has changed, they want to be obviously have these wins returned to them. Now, obviously, some stuff you just cannot change. What's happened has happened. And so the affirmation of NCAA athletes' right to make a living from their name, likeness, image, and likeness is a huge step in the right direction. Pryor says on a Tuesday statement with teammates Reed and Part, armed with the correct resources and support, we know they'll show what we felt to be true all along, and not letting athletes capitalize on what ultimately, is their hard work and unjust, he says, was unjust and unnecessary. And furthermore, the Buckeyes were later hit with 1-year bowl ban for Tattoo Gate and tagged with another year of probation, which Urban Meyer endured during his first season. Ohio State went 12-0 in 2012, but was ineligible for the Big Ten championship game and the postseason. He learned more about tattoos than he ever really wanted to possibly know. Buckeyes athletic director Gene Smith said in 2010, after the NCAA revealed its findings, and as a student athlete, you're not allowed to use your personnel to get discounted services. And so obviously they're stating, the previous rule there in which, Pryor and his former teammates, they want their legacies restored at Columbus. Now, had this not taken place, Ohio State was set up to make perhaps another run at the championship. It certainly was an important year for Terrelle Pryor, who basically just ended up not returning to Ohio State after that suspension, and then getting drafted as a receiver, never again to play the quarterback position at the professional level. And so they go on to state that in 2010, Ohio State team earned a 12-1 record, won a Big Ten championship, won the Sugar Bowl, and produced a top 5 career all-time passer, top 5 career all-time rusher, and top 10 career all-time rusher and All-American, all for it to be wiped unceremoniously from the record books. The request to the NCAA reads, we are calling for our school records and legacy to be restored so that the Buckeye Nation can look at us with the same love and fondness that we've always held for them. So clearly this is a legacy type move right here for these guys, because outside of, just being restored something that's already happened. That's not really going to change much in terms of history. It's not going to change the future. We all know what happened. We know Jim Tressel ended up losing his job, during that time, largely because of that. There's a lot of changes that took place. And the following season for Ohio State was a struggle before Urban Meyer came there and righted the ship. But clearly for these guys, it's very important for them, for their legacy's sake, to look back on it and be able to talk about it and have the fans, view it as a success rather than just, what it's been viewed at now as a huge error, which, not much is going to change. It's not like we can go back and, be eligible for that 2012 conference championship or anything like that. But that being said, this is good news for the Buckeyes. And, in terms of Terrelle Pryor and company, they have some hope for being able to restore their name and their legacy, which is extremely important to them. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for joining me for this video. If you've made it this far in the video, you might as well press that like button and hit subscribe if you have not already subscribed to my channel. Check out some of my other videos that I've done. I cover football, basketball, started doing college sports as well. So certainly check me out, and be sure to subscribe if you want to be alerted whenever I drop new content, or if I do some live streams for some basketball games, football games, even probably some college sport games in the future as well. Definitely want to stay tuned for that. But with that being said, thanks again for watching, and see you guys next time.